Hello, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'll wait for just a minute or two more, and then I'll begin. Okay. Okay. So hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another session of Advanced Biology Lectures: Recent Trends in Biosciences by me, Rahul. And for this session, please keep your microphones on and ask me, interrupt me anywhere you would like to ask any questions or to add anything. Fine. Shall we begin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so uh, before I start with today's presentation, basically, I'll just can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Okay. So before I start with today's presentation, the topic of which is on your board, I'll explain why I chose this topic. But before that, I'll just recap what we have done in previous two lectures. So basically in these lectures, we try to take you out of your textbooks. Like instead of covering the syllabus, we go on uncovering the syllabus and understand a few things on the way, which are advanced and also which help you and which guide you to choose a alternate career in research and biosciences if you wish to go for that. Okay, so if you have biology and studying biology and chemistry, that does not only means that you can only be a mbbs doctor or a dentist or a physiotherapist. You can be a lot of other things. There are a lot of active research areas in biology where you can go and make your mark, and these are very good career options, in fact. So in the first lecture I started with evolution because I wanted to take you all through human evolution. And basically this series, where this is the third lecture in the series, this series is all about where we are discussing various advanced methods of medicines. So in my previous chapter we discussed about COVID, viruses and vaccinations, and in today's chapter, I'll be going to yet another small um, pathogen which we share the world with, which is called bacteria. Okay. So all of you know what bacteria is. We'll start from basic and then I'll take you to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is bacteria, Amna? And everyone should speak and participate. Yes. What is a bacteria?
So, bacteria is a prokaryote and it's a living organism.
Okay. Bacteria is a prokaryote. So you're right, it's a prokaryote. And here I have used the image of it's an annotated image of a E. coli. And bacteria is a prokaryote. What do we mean by prokaryote basically? Let's everyone should be on
Its
the.
nucleus is not defined.
Okay, what do you mean by not defined nucleus?
It means that it doesn't have a nuclear envelope and the genetic material is just, you know,
Yeah, I know. What do you
in the
mean?
body somehow.
Yes. So basically, the point is that so this is a bacteria. Let's mark the obvious parts first. So what is this? This long tail-like structures. So you have read about the
Flagella.
structure of bacteria in your NCRT. Okay, so everyone has to be vocal before I take you to some advanced things. If you're not on the same page, some things you will not understand. But I'll I'll make you understand that, don't worry. Okay, so this is flagella, right? Flagella basically helps bacteria to move around because they live in aquatic, like in every environment, there is fluid around them. And what are these hair-like structures?
Fimbriae.
Yeah, they can be called as fimbriae, they can also be called as pilae, or they can be called as cilia. Basically, they are smaller than flagella and a little different in their structures. And this, what you see, is the main cell, the prokaryotic cell, which we call the bacteria. And when Amna said that the nucleus is not defined, she meant that, like in our cells, there is a cell boundary, and within the cell boundary, there is a nuclear boundary. Like there is a nuclear membrane, and inside it there is DNA, right? This is what happens in our cell. But in bacterial cell, there is no such demarcation, no such boundary. So the genetic material is simply floating around inside the cytoplasm, and the region around it is slightly denser. So sometimes scientists and biologists define that region as nucleoid, like a denser region, but it's not a true nucleus. Is it clear? Everyone is on the same page, right? If you have any questions, please stop me and ask, okay? So basically in today's lecture, what we are going to discuss is that after we discuss viral infections in my last lecture through COVID as an example, and we also realized why fighting COVID and such viral infections is very difficult. Today we'll discuss about bacterial infections. So if I ask you that if you get a open wound, if you get a bruise or you get a cut, what is the first kind of infection that is most probable to happen in that wound? You know, the first most probable infection that can happen is a bacterial infection, you know, if a wound is open. So bacteria basically is the first organism in evolution which we call as a true living independent organism, because they are the first of prokaryotes. They are unicellular, they have a single cell, so they don't need much to survive. But howsoever simple they may like sound or they look, they are basically a great machine. They are a great machine. If you understand bacteria, you will be mesmerized and probably you'll be shocked also. So I'll try to do that in my today's lecture as much as possible. So bacterial infections have been with us like since times immemorial. It was only after 1928 when for the first time a scientist called Alexander Fleming. You remember his name? Who remembers Alexander Fleming and can tell me something about him? No one. Someone should, please. This is advanced biology lecture. You cannot learn without participating. So you have heard this name, Alexander Fleming? Yes, Amna.
So I'm just guessing, मुझे लग रहा है मैंने सुना था इन्होंने first antibiotic बनाई थी.
Exactly. Alexander Fleming first discovered an antibiotic which is called penicillin, okay, which still currently in the modern world we still use. So it was discovered in 1928 and it was a chance discovery. It was sheer accident that he realized there is something. So basically what happened was he was culturing bacteria for some experiment in a culture plate, okay? And when you culture bacteria, basically bacteria cultured as a colony. So there'll be different these dot-like colonies. We call it colonies of bacteria. Something like this will appear, okay? And he was culturing bacteria for some study, and that plate was kept untouched, was left outside where it was exposed to environment, like to some outside environment. And he realized after a few days that in that plate where the bacterial colony was growing, there is something else which is growing now, okay? And this something else, when it's growing in the plate, in the vicinity of it, around it, there is a region in which all these bacterial colonies are now dead and there is no bacterial colony. which is surviving in the vicinity of that growth. Okay. Now I was very curious that earlier there were bacterial colony growing, and there is now something because of which bacterial colony are not growing. So maybe there is something which does not allow bacteria to grow. And this is how, so basically penicillin was extracted from another organism, another fungus called penicillium. So from the penicillium, he figured out that penicillium secretes some compounds which he named penicillin that inhibits bacteria. So basically this was the first antibiotic to be discovered. Okay. Everyone is on the same page? Now, what is the problem? Like, why are we discussing bacterial infection? Because I already told you that someone has figured out how to kill bacteria. There are substances called antibiotics that kill bacteria and does not allow them to grow. So why do we need to discuss bacterial infections at all? Because of this second half, this is the thing which is a recent trend in we are seeing in medical field, and a lot of research has to be done in this and is already being done. Multi-drug resistance. What do we mean by multi-drug resistance? Someone can take a guess. Multi-drug resistance. What does the name suggest to you?
Sir, it is resistant to like more than one drugs.
Yes, perfect. And who was it speaking? I think it was a Ved, right? Aryan.
Aryan.
Yes, Aryan. Right. Perfect. So you said that. So penicillin is a drug, and there are multiple such drugs which we have figured out after 1928 till now. In just a span of less than 100 years, we have a lot of antibiotic drugs. And when a bacterial population or a bacteria becomes resistance towards these drugs, so if it is resistance towards one drug, we don't have to worry, right? Because we have a lot of other drugs. अगर तुम इससे नहीं मरोगे तो किसी से तो मरोगे ही. So everything was going fine till for some time, and then uh, doctors and scientists started realizing that there are certain bacteria or bacterial colony that have developed resistance against multiple of these antibiotics. Now this is a problem. Why is this a problem? Because if a bacteria can understand that what we are sending to kill the bacteria and can somehow tackle this, then we will be no more able to treat bacterial infections if this continues, right? And over a course of time, this bacteria will be invincible, because whatever things we have, it will develop resistance towards most of them, and it will be very difficult for us to kill it. And it's already happening now in 2021. As of now, a lot of bacterial infections which were very easily treatable in the 70s, 60s, or 80s are now not being treated that fast. So patients with those infections have to stay in hospitals for longer time, and it's very costly, the treatment. And also we are in a race to develop more and more antibiotics, and there are a lot of problems to that as well. We cannot just keep on developing antibiotics and then bacteria can, because to develop each antibiotic, millions of dollars are invested in research and then in the pharmaceutical companies, drug designing and everything. And then itna paisa, itna energy laga ke companies come up with the antibiotic, and then bacteria says, oh, chota baat hai, and develops a resistance against it. So all of that gone. So companies and all these research institutes and research companies, pharmaceutical companies, are now not producing antibiotics or not developing new antibiotics because they are not getting profit out of it. Now what is the other way to get profit, which is also a part of problem? आप में से कितने लोगों ने एंटीबायोटिक लिया है लाइफ में? Just say me or raise your hand. So you can also raise your hand by these icon thing, Yes, Arshit.
Yes, sir.
You have taken antibiotics?
Not specifically, but it is contained in many tablets.
Yes, Anushka has taken antibiotics. And how many of you had severe infections in your life? Severe bacterial infections? Very few, I reckon. How many of you had a bacterial infection in your life till yet? Anyone? Aryan. Anushka, Aryan, what infection did you have? Did you have? What bacterial infection? If you are okay disclosing it, otherwise it's
Sir,
fine.
I don't remember it correctly.
But you were sick because of a bacteria, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then for the treatment, you must have taken a lot of antibiotic.
Yes, sir.
And after that also, today, antibiotics are used very loose-handedly. So if you have a viral, you must have seen normally what physicians do is, if you have a viral infection or any sort of an infection in your body, you will realize that one drug which is common amongst your paracetamol and other drugs is antibiotic, isn't it? Which should not be
Yes,
the
sir.
case, right? Antibiotics should not be very loosely used. I'll tell you why in the upcoming in the coming time. Now, so we understood that bacteria are capable of developing resistance towards these things. Now, how do they do it, and why it's a big deal, and why are we talking about it? Because we are just in the middle of a pandemic which is caused by a virus. So everyone is so diverted towards viruses and are thinking that if there is one thing on earth which is the arch enemy of humanity, that is a virus, which is not true. Bacteria are also very prevalent, just like viruses all around us. And the bad thing is that bacteria, they are not very specific sometimes as specific viruses are. So if so in my last lecture, I discussed this, and those who were in the last lecture, especially Amna, must be remembering that I told that viruses are very specific, right? One virus is
Yes,
sometimes
sir.
so specific that it only affects human and no other species. Sometimes a virus is very specific, it only affects plant and no other species. But this is not the case for bacteria. Bacteria can affect a wide range of organisms and without like caring about their species. Okay, so let us go forward and let us try to discuss how can I go forward. Why is it not going forward? Okay, so I have to first clear this mess. Okay, now this slide is just for your information and to make a platform on which we will build. So basically, there are some key facts I have taken from World Health Organization site that antibiotic resistance is one of the biggest threats to global health, food security, and development today. Now, you must be thinking, what does a bacteria has to do with food security and development, right? We'll discuss. So antibiotic resistance can affect anyone in any of any age in any country. Antibiotic resistance occurs naturally, but misuse of antibiotic in human and animals is accelerating the process. This is one of the main features we are going to discuss, and how our industry is developing around this, and how if you wish to make a career in it, you can go there, we'll discuss. A growing number of infections such as pneumonia, tuberculosis, gonorrhea, and salmonellosis are becoming harder to treat as the antibiotic used to treat them become less effective. This is where the resistance part comes. And antibiotic resistance leads to longer hospital stays, higher medical costs, and increased mortality. Okay, so let's just let me share a whiteboard. Let's just do some chalkboard thing first. Okay, everyone, I want everyone to participate here. So let us discuss now what happens, how we kill a bacteria. So from your NCERT diagram, you must remember that suppose this is a bacteria. Okay. And this is just the genetic material. Okay. And you already see that there is a flagella which comes out of the bacteria. These are, and there are some, we call it fimbria or pili or cilia, whatever name you wish to. Basically, they are called pili. Okay, so apart from this, what other features are there in bacteria? Someone just dictate me, I'll keep drawing it. Now tell me what else?
Cell wall.
Cell wall, perfect. So there is a cell wall, okay, which I'm drawing like this. Just a cell wall or something else?
So outer capsule तो already बना
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the outer capsule, let's say. Okay. And this is the cell wall. So main thing is I wanted someone to say cell wall. Cell wall, and there is another. So cell wall is an additional layer in bacterial thing. Inside in the cytoplasm, what other things should be there? There is no nucleus, but there is the genetic material or the nucleoid. So I'll call it genetic material. What else?
So plasmid.
Yes, perfect. So they are small. What are plasmids? Because you have brought it up, you should tell me what are plasmids.
So they are semi-autonomous genetic material kind of thing.
Very good. Every word from the book. What do you understand from plasmid? So we are not covering the syllabus here, so don't worry. You can use any language and just uncover it. Uncover plasmid for me.
So they are present in the donors.
Yes, Sanchi. Perfect. Very good. You said you used the word donor, which we are going to use later. But what is a donor here? Are they donating their organs or something? Which is a donor? What is a donor?
Moving the organs, pilus to the female bacteria.
To the new bacteria.
Yes.
Okay. But before going to all of that, if I ask you simply what is a plasmid? And Amna said it's a semi-autonomous genetic material. It already has a genetic material of its own. Then what the hell is plasmid doing inside the bacteria?
So I think plasmid protects the bacteria from antibiotics.
It does help in the process, but that was not how it, like, plasmids are in bacteria before we discovered antibiotics, Anushka. We discovered antibiotics in 1928. It was not like that in 1929, all of the bacteria met in a conference, in a global conference, and decided to have plasmid inside them. They are having plasmid from millions of years or billions of years inside them. So later on, plasmid also helped in in antibiotic resistance. But what is plasmid is still the question. See, when we are uncovering the syllabus, it's actually quite difficult. Huh? If it was a 1-marker question, Amna would have got 1 mark, and Anushka and Sanchi would have got 1 mark, and it's done and dusted. But we are uncovering the syllabus. So tell me, what is plasmid? The question is still valid. Anyone? What is this thing in itself? Okay, so these are basically small circular DNAs, okay? Pieces, fragments of DNA. And when Amna said semi-autonomous, it means that sometimes these plasmids, so if they are pieces of DNA, they must be having sequences on it, right? And some of these sequences
Yes, sir.
might be a gene, right?
Yes, sir.
And as Anushka said that they help plasmid in developing resistance against antibiotics. If that gene is an antibiotic resistant gene, if that gene somehow provides the bacteria with the ability or a superpower to dodge these antibiotics, then this plasmid will help in building antibiotic resistance. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, where does this small circular DNA comes from in the bacteria, and what was the need of it? Okay. So for that, first I will take you through one process which you have not studied till now, but it's very good to know, and it's called horizontal gene transfer. किसी ने ये नाम सुना? आपने gene transfer तो सुना होगा. Mendel has spoke about it, and
Yes.
you have read it in your
Yes, sir.
hereditary and inheritance chapter. So all of the gene transfer that you have studied till now, that is called vertical gene transfer. By vertical, I mean when you make a tree where you say that parent progenies are being crossed and there is a F1 progeny which is being crossed, and then there is a F2 progeny. ऐसे ही करते हैं ना? So we go vertically
Yes,
down.
sir.
And from this generation to this generation, there is a gene transfer. From this generation to this generation, there is a gene transfer, right? Now I'm saying that there is a process by which genes can be transferred in the same generation without anything. And this bacteria can do very well. One bacteria can simply decide to gift on a Diwali or a Eid a very important gene to a cousin bacteria that is just living with this bacteria itself, and you do not have to go vertically to the next generation. In the same generation, there is some gene that can be transferred from one bacteria to another. Isn't it cool? Is it cool?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But not for us. This is why we are suffering so much. This is why resistance comes. So it's cool for bacteria because bacteria can do that and we cannot do that. I remember in the last class, Amna asked a question that to evade from a coronavirus or any virus when they recognize our cells, why can't we just simply change our receptors, right? So that they don't recognize our receptors and
Yes,
do
sir.
not enter into our cell. And to which I answered that if we change our receptor, that receptor is there in the cell for some very crucial functions, that will also stop, and anyways we will die. And we have trillions of cells in our body. All our cells cannot all of a sudden do it in synchrony. But the good thing about bacteria is it is just one cell. It can do whatever it wish. And what we could not do in case of COVID, this bacteria can do. It can also change its receptor. Okay. Now this is also a very cool thing. So about horizontal gene transfer, I'll tell you what all things are possible. First thing which is possible is that bacteria is just roaming around in its environment and it comes in contact. This is a bacteria, and it comes in contact with a fragment of DNA. ऐसे पड़ा हुआ है कोई fragment of DNA किसी और organism में से टूट के, या फिर some other bacteria died in the vicinity और उसका genome टूट के टुकड़े टुकड़े हो गया, and all these fragments are just lying around. And DNA is fairly stable, right? DNA is stable than RNA. And if there is a DNA in the surrounding, bacteria can just take up this DNA inside its own body, inside its own cell. And because there is no demarcation of the nucleus, there is no another checkpoint to go inside the nucleus. Like if something enters our cell, if I inject a piece of DNA in your cell, will it directly go to the nucleus?
No.
No, sir.
Because there is a nuclear membrane, which is also double layered. That will not allow a big molecule like DNA to go inside simply, right? Here, there is no such limitation. So a gene, which is just floating around, can just be taken by the bacteria under certain conditions, and that conditions we call as that the bacteria is ready to be transformed. And this process, the first process, is called transformation. Transformation by which bacteria can take up random piece of genetic information from their surroundings, put it in their body, and they can also, because they have ribosomes. One thing which no one told me, that in a bacterial cytoplasm, there are ribosomes present. What are ribosomes? Anyone?
So protein factories.
Protein structures.
Yes, they are protein factories. Again, the same answer. They basically make proteins from RNAs. They read the RNA and make the protein. Okay, and that process is called translation. So transformation is the first way of horizontal gene transfer that can happen in a bacteria. Now there is a second way. What is the second way? Second way is if there is no piece in the environment, but a bacteria, apart from having its own genome, has a plasmid also. Okay, this plasmid, a circular DNA, which it realized कि oh, इस circular DNA के अंदर तो एक ऐसा gene है जिसको अगर मैं express कर दूं and I make the protein of it, then that protein can go and bind on my cell wall, and it will just not allow the antibiotic to come inside and kill me, which means it's giving an antibiotic resistance, right? तो ये प्लाज्मिड अभी इसके पास है, अगर ये प्लाज्मिड इसके भाई बंधुओं के पास भी हो तो मजा आ जाएगा. The whole family is secured from antibiotics, right?
Yes, sir.
So what they can do is they can come in contact, and someone used the word micropilli or pilli. Who used that word? Micropile. I think Sanchi used that word. So basically, these two bacteria can come in contact, and there is a transient, temporary link formed between them, through which this bacteria A replicates its plasmid and send that plasmid through this thing to bacteria B. Cool. Now, whatever powers bacteria A had, bacteria B got the same plasmid and the same gene. Now, bacteria B also got that powers. And this is called it's again a horizontal gene transfer, and it's called transduction. Sorry. How can I clear it? This is called it's uni, so it's called basically a conduction, bacterial conduction, because one bacteria is conducive to the other. Everyone's clear till now? The third
Yes,
way,
sir.
the third way is where you remember I told you, and to all others, this is a new information, but you all should know, viruses are very specific, and there are viruses that even attack bacteria, right? Everyone clear? So there are certain viruses that attack bacteria, and these viruses are called bacteriophages. So the name is bacteriophages, which means bacteria killers. Phage is killer, and so killers of bacteria are called bacteriophages, and they are basically viruses. Okay? Their name is like a bacteria, but they are viruses. They are very small. They come and sit on the bacteria. They infect the bacteria with their own genome, make multiple copies of them, and then get out of that bacteria. They kill this bacteria in the process, but sometimes in this process, when they go from one bacteria to another, so this particle now goes to this bacteria, and when it sits and injects its DNA, it also injects a part of this bacteria's genome. Some gene, it gives it for free. And if this bacteria in given time can fight off this infection and not let it build, then it will not only survive the viral infection, it will also get one extra gene for free coming from another bacteria. Is it clear?
So the third thing can also happen in humans, right?
What?
The third thing can also happen in humans.
The third thing happens in humans, but in our body, if one cell gets a part of DNA from another cell, it cannot do anything, right? That part of DNA will just be in the cytoplasm. It will never cross the nucleus and go inside the nucleus and get transcribed and translated. So it's of no use.
What if the virus also destroys the nuclear membrane?
So viruses do not enter the cell. They do not enter the cell to destroy the nuclear membrane. Even if viruses, they only send their genome inside most of the times, and their genomes, even if it crosses the nuclear membrane sometimes and gets incorporated, the chances of a gene from our own cell getting into our own cell or from someone's cell to our cell is very less. And even if it happens, it's not going to cause a problem because only that one cell has some additional piece. We have trillions of cells. So anything, for us to get a superpower, we need to get it in most of our cells, or basically in our immune cells. एक सेल में ऐसा कुछ होगा भी तो वो सेल को समझ नहीं आएगा भी क्या हो रहा है, and ultimately it will die. Every cell in our body has a age and it dies, right? So
Yes,
even if this happens through viruses, it's possible, you're right, that pieces of information can go, but that makes no sense in our body because we are multicellular. For unicellulars, These three methods of horizontal gene transfer matters, and this is the reason why bacteria are evolving very fast. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I will take you through a video, and I'll just share my screen to show you a video. You listen to this video first and then we will discuss, okay, on this. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything on my screen?
No, it's dark.
No, sir. Ab aa gaya, sir.
Now it's there again. Yes. So this is the video which I want you to see. I've taken it from a TED education platform. Whatever. Yeah. So it's taking some time. I don't know if it's because of sharing it over Zoom or something, but let's just clear with it. Okay, till then, if anyone has any question regarding whatever we previously discussed, because now we are going to get into the advanced part from here onwards. So everything that was basic is now done. Any questions regarding the basics? Why is it not working? Okay, let me figure out why it's not working. Just give me 1 second.
Infections, and we're at risk of.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
For more than 70 years.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now it's working, and I'll just make it full screen. Can you see the video?
Enable much of modern medicine. We use them to.
I think there's some network issue or the bandwidth issue. But it's an important video, so we'll just get it done.
Cure infectious diseases, but also to safely facilitate infections, and we're.
Okay, so this is it visible to everyone now in the full screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Antibiotics. Behind the scenes, they enable much of modern medicine. We use them to cure infectious diseases, but also to safely facilitate everything from surgery to chemotherapy to organ transplants. Without antibiotics, even routine medical procedures can lead to life-threatening infections, and we're at risk of losing them.
So this much is clear, right? So antibiotics are not only used when we have an infection, but also when we fear that there might be an infection. Okay. And this is not uh, the actual thing why antibiotics. So basically, if you do not have an infection, but you have a surgery, so you must have seen that after every surgery, if there is a wound, or after every kind of a treatment, if there is a chances of uh, bacterial infection, we are given antibiotics just as precautions so that no infection happens, right?
Antibiotics are chemicals that prevent the growth of bacteria. Unfortunately, some bacteria have become resistant to all currently available antibiotics. At the same time, we've stopped discovering new ones. Still, there's hope that we can get ahead of the problem. But first, how did we get into this situation? The first widely used antibiotic was penicillin, discovered in
This we have discussed about,
1728
right?
by Alexander Fleming. In his 1945 Nobel Prize acceptance speech, Fleming warned that bacterial resistance had the potential to ruin the miracle of antibiotics. He was right. In the 1940s and 50s, resistant bacteria already began to appear.
Now, can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now, the important thing
Yes,
to note
sir.
here is that even the person who discovered antibiotics told us, just like uh, less than 20 years, within 2 decades, that resistance can be developed, and resistance once developed is going to be a bigger problem for mankind. And it was discovered in 1928, and by 1950 we already started seeing that there were various strains of bacteria which were resistant. Okay.
From then until the 1980s, pharmaceutical companies countered the problem of resistance by discovering many new antibiotics. At first, this was a highly successful and highly profitable enterprise. Over time, a couple things changed. Newly discovered antibiotics were often only effective for a narrow spectrum of infections, whereas the first ones had been broadly applicable. This isn't a problem in itself, but it does mean that fewer doses of these drugs could be sold, making them less profitable. In the early days, antibiotics were heavily overprescribed, including for viral infections they had no effect on. Scrutiny around prescriptions increased, which
But this is still happening. Will you agree with me, everyone? So this video takes into
Yes, sir.
account countries which are basically developed countries, where now there is a strict rule for antibiotics. But in countries like which are developing countries, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar, basically in Asia Pacific or in Africa, antibiotics are just very loose-handedly sold. Because if you sell antibiotics, there's a pressure from these companies who are making it. If you don't give it to patients, how are they going to make profits? But if you keep giving it to patients for problems like, let's say, a viral infection, so if anyone has a viral flu cold and has taken an antibiotic for that, is actually not helped itself, because how is an antibiotic going to help in a viral infection? Is it going to help in a viral infection?
No, sir.
No. But just as precautions, because they say that if there are chances that your immune system is already weaker, you might have a overriding bacterial infection. So take these antibiotics. But you can also have precautions to not expose yourself when you are having viral to places from where you can get a bacterial infection. I think that is a better strategy to go with. Anyways, अगर आपको viral है और आप बुखार में घर पे पड़े हुए हैं, you are not going to go play in the mud, right? You're not going to go and drink water from any well or anywhere. You're going to stay at home in your bed and you are going to be taken care of. So if that is the case, then you do not need antibiotics in viral or flus, right?
is good, but also lowered sales. At the same time, companies began to develop more drugs that are taken over a patient's lifetime, like blood pressure and cholesterol medications, and later antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications. Because they are taken indefinitely, these drugs are more profitable. By the mid-1980s, no new chemical classes of antibiotics were discovered, But bacteria continued to acquire resistance and pass it along by sharing genetic information between individual bacteria.
This we just discussed, right? The horizontal gene transfer. How are they one bacteria which is resistant making other bacteria in the vicinity resistant? Okay.
And even across species. Now, bacteria that are resistant to many antibiotics are common, and increasingly, some strains are resistant to all our current drugs. So, what can we do about this? We need to control the use of existing antibiotics, create new ones, combat resistance to new and existing drugs, and find new ways to fight bacterial infections. The largest consumer of antibiotics is agriculture, which uses antibiotics not only to treat infections, but to promote the growth of food animals using
Okay. So this thing we will discuss, but just
large volumes of antibiotics increases the bacteria's exposure to the antibiotics and therefore their opportunity to develop resistance. Many bacteria that are common in animals, like Salmonella, can also infect humans, and drug-resistant versions can pass to us through the food chain.
So do you understand this thing? So as I told you, bacteria are not very specific. Many bacteria can infect us as well as a chicken, a goat, or any farm animal that people use in the food. Okay. So, and in these poultry farms or basically in these animal farms, animals just for the sake of profit are kept in very small spaces, in a very unhygienic condition sometimes. And when their flesh or the animal products from there are transferred, so these animals are administered with a very high doses of antibiotics all the time so that they do not get sick. You understand? But what will happen if you overexpose an organism to antibiotics? Slowly, the bacteria which is in the system will start recognizing the antibiotic and will start developing resistance against it. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we eat that uh, uh, meat product or animal product, and these bacteria, through that, if that food is not properly cooked, or if it is half baked bacon, or if it is a half boiled egg or something like that, then if it's not properly killed and cooked, then it comes to us. Okay. And this is how multi-drug resistant strains are passed on from one person to another.
And spread through international trade and travel networks. In terms of finding new antibiotics, nature offers the most promising new compounds. Organisms like other microbes and fungi have evolved over millions of years to live in competitive environments, meaning they often contain antibiotic compounds to give them a survival advantage over certain bacteria.
Now, basically what he is trying to tell here is that this is where penicillin started with. So where do we get these antibiotic things? So penicillium is a fungus, okay? And why does a fungus produce something that kills bacteria around? Just because it does not want to compete with bacteria for nutrition and everything in the environment, okay? Nutritional competition. So there are microbes which, because of nutritional competitions, have developed molecules or chemicals which can kill bacteria in the vicinity, and that we use and exploit as antibiotics. Clear? Everyone is on the same page till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, before we'll not continue this video because after there it becomes more of a marketing thing. So I'll come back to the chalkboard thing and I'll ask you, what are various ways? Let's go the same way. After you've seen this and you understood this, you understood how it can transfer gene as well. Now tell me, what are the various ways to kill a bacteria using an antibiotic or any drug? Tell me, this is a bacteria. What will you do to kill it? It has a cell wall.
Destroyed cell membrane.
Destroyed.
Cell wall, sorry.
Yes. So first thing is you try to destroy its cell wall, or you said membrane. Okay, I'll write membrane also. Oh, and what else? These are ways to destroy. We are
So,
killing. It's possible to kill bacteria unlike viruses. Yes. Yes,
So
yes.
we can attack on their plasmids through some antibiotics because they are the ones who are continuing the process of resistance
Okay, so
in
basically you are
bacteria.
saying that by attacking plasmids, do not let them do the horizontal gene transfer. This is what you
Yes.
mean? Because if plasmids are somehow inhibited, then they will not be able to pass on resistance. ठीक है, we'll discuss about this. और क्या कर सकते हैं? Anyone? See, you have to think because it's an advanced class. I'll not just keep you giving answers. I'll discuss it with you. First, you tell me what you think, and then we'll go on with what do we have, and where is the industry going, the science is going.
We can also malfunction the genetic material inside.
Yes, Harshit, we can.
Malfunction the genetic material.
We can make their genetic material malfunction. So
Yeah.
you basically mean attack the genome of bacteria. Okay. And what we can do. And let me tell you that when you are trying to kill these bacteria, they are in your body. So you cannot suggest something like, kill them with acids. In that case, you have to send acid inside your body or phenyl inside your body. That you cannot do. Because outside we don't want, outside killing the bacteria is very easy. Kitna bhi multi-drug resistant bacteria ho, put 100% alcohol over it, it will just dehydrate and die. But we cannot do that when it's inside the body, right? So that's why these are therapies to come up with antibiotics or come up from an infection of bacteria. So attack the genome, attack the plasmids, attack the cell wall or the membrane. Anything else we can do?
The ribosomes can be attacked too.
Okay, so basically you are just telling me कि एक एक करके उसके सारे जितने भी ऑर्गेनल्स हैं उनको अटैक करो, ठीक है? उनमें से कोई यस
सर जैसा कि आपने कहा था कि हम लोग मतलब अगर बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन नहीं भी होता है या कोई और भी इन्फेक्शन होता है तो भी हम लोग एंटीबायोटिक्स यूज करते हैं। तो वही मेन चीज है, अगर हम लोग उसको यूज करना कम कर दें तो फिर हमारे बॉडी के बैक्टीरियाज उसको रिकॉग्नाइज करना बंद कर देंगे।
So over time you want to reverse the process.
मतलब ज्यादा यूज करना बंद कर दें।
So you are saying that we have
Yeah, kind of.
stop misusing and overusing the antibiotics. So one way is to
Antibiotics. Yes.
stop misusing antibiotics. ताकि टाइम आने पे जब यूज करें तो काम करें।
तो काम करें।
It's the same like the story of, there's a very famous story of fable in Hindi, जहाँ पे एक बंदा होता है जो बार बार गांव पे आके चिल्लाता है कि शेर आया, राइट? बट शेर नहीं आया।
Yes, sir.
और फिर एक बार असली में शेर आता है और कोई उसको सीरियसली नहीं लेता।
तो कोई इसकी बात नहीं। Yes, sir.
Okay, so stop using antibiotics. What are other things we can do? Okay, so most of the things is that we have to somehow, another thing that I will tell is that what we can do is we can stop the bacteria from replicating. Stop the replication machinery. So attack replication process. So that एक bacteria आया है वो एक ही रहे, it does not replicate and does not share the information. Then also, so specifically जो drugs bacteria को replicate करने से रोकते हैं but उसको मारते नहीं हैं, they are called bacteriostatins. They are bacteriostatic drugs. So they are not killing the bacteria. And sometimes we have to use this drug because we cannot kill the bacteria. All we can do is stop. And if I am able to achieve this also, it's helpful because if you do not allow bacteria to replicate and spread the infection, and you can stop it for days, then we already have our immune system, right? It's just like the virus thing. You give your immune system enough time and immune system will come and clear it. And in that time, do not let them spread so much that it takes over the organ. Okay, this is the basic science behind bacteriostatic drugs. But apart from them, all the other drugs here, are killing basically. So they are antibiotic. Anti means against and biotic means the life of bacteria and against the life. So they are killing. This one thing is precaution which is in public domain. So this has no like science cannot control this. Science can just give you an antibiotic. We as a society and physicians as a whole has to decide whether we want to misuse or not. अब डॉक्टर्स प्रिस्क्राइब करते रहते हैं बिकॉज उनको कंपनी से प्रेशर होता है जिनसे उनके टाइप्स होते हैं कि सी यू हैव टू मेक दिस एंटीबायोटिक सेल एटलीस्ट इतना इन अ मंथ, विल गिव यू इंसेंटिव्स फॉर इट, एंड दे जस्ट कीप प्रिस्क्राइबिंग एंटीबायोटिक्स. जुकाम हुआ एंटीबायोटिक्स, वायरल हुआ एंटीबायोटिक्स, कुछ और हो गया एंटीबायोटिक्स, बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन हो गया फिर तो मजे ही आ गए, फिर तो भर भर के एंटीबायोटिक्स. Okay, but let's talk about the above killing part. Now, to achieve any of this, what is the first thing that we have to achieve? If I want to kill, चाहे मैं यहाँ अटैक करना चाहता हूँ, चाहे मैं यहाँ अटैक करना चाहता हूँ, मैं राइबोसोम पे अटैक करना चाहता हूँ, या मैं कहीं भी बैक्टीरियल सेल में अटैक करना चाहता हूँ, फॉर दैट व्हाट आई हैव टू डू, व्हाट आई हैव टू अचीव, मेरा जो भी ड्रग है, जो मॉलिक्यूल है, which is the antibiotic, I have to get it inside the bacteria first, right? Isn't this the first requirement?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. But problem is that I will go to a PPT of mine and we'll discuss some of the problems. When we send these kind of drugs, you all can see my screen. Slideshow. Is my slideshow visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, before going forward, you have read about gram positive and gram negative bacteria?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is gram positive? Because we are talking about cell wall. So what is a gram positive and gram negative? Just a revision here. So in gram positive, you see that there is a cell membrane here. Okay. You can see here is a cell membrane. I'll take another color. And in gram positive, above the cell membrane, there is a periplasmic space, thoda sa space hota hai. And then there is a thick layer of peptidoglycan. Okay, this molecule here. जिसकी वजह से, so gram positive we say when there is a stain called Gram stain, named after Hans Christian Gram. He was a bacteriologist, a Danish bacteriologist. So this stain is like acquired by these peptidoglycan layers and it stays here. Okay, and because it stays here and is not washed off, when you see the bacteria, so gram positive bacteria look purple. Okay, then we say that they are stained by this stain, so they are gram positive. In gram negative, there is a inner membrane and then there is a space in which there is a very thin layer of peptidoglycan. You can see this, right? And then there is an outer membrane as well. So there are two layers of membrane or cell wall, you can see. So this is basically, this is the composition of its whole cell wall, which is bilayered. And in between this X you are seeing is a porine protein. Now what is a porine protein? Porine proteins are the proteins which allow certain things to come in or go out of the cell. They make pores in the membrane. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then there are some random proteins also, both in the outer membrane and in the inner membrane. And then there is this lipopolysaccharides, which is present on top of gram negative, which is not present in gram positive. Okay. So in a way, if I ask you which membrane is more complex, is it gram positive more complex or gram negative more complex?
Gram negative.
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 Yes, gram negative is more complex. Okay. And because of this, it has certain advantages and for itself and certain disadvantages for itself, which we use. Now, if I say that there is an antibiotic which disrupts the membrane, so will it affect gram negative badly or will it affect gram positive badly?
Gram negative.
Yes, because the first layer is a membrane, and if it affects the membrane, then it affects gram negative badly. But if I say there is a drug which affects the peptidoglycan layer, it breaks the peptidoglycan layer, then which bacteria will be affected more?
Positive.
Positive.
Positive. Because all it has is a thick peptidoglycan. If this goes, then there is nothing to save. This is just, if this goes, then the shield is now very weak now. We can kill the bacteria easily. So you understand that different type of antibiotic drugs target different things, and on the basis of which sometimes gram negative are at advantage and sometimes gram positive. इसीलिए first we have to identify what is the bacteria which is causing infection. इसीलिए bacterial culture बहुत जरूरी होता है पहले किसी भी नए bacterial infection में, and then doctors prescribe an antibiotic. कि you take this antibiotic because this will work better for this kind of bacteria. It's not like कोई भी bacterial infection हुआ है और तुम कोई भी antibiotic उठा के खा लोगे तो काम करेगा. Okay, first thing is clear. So first thing which you
Yes.
learn is all antibiotics are not equally working against all bacterial infections. Okay. Now we'll go to, but we understood that for antibiotics to work, we have to send antibiotics inside the bacteria. Now, what is the problem which we face when we try to send anything inside the bacteria? And how are bacteria evolving because of this thing? Okay. So do you see this slide here? अब तक
Yes.
आप लोगों ने जितने भी मैकेनिज्म्स मुझे सजेस्ट किए कि हम ये कर सकते हैं, ये कर सकते हैं, those are all I am taking into consideration. And the first thing is, now we will try to understand bacteria's counter mechanism. So the first counter mechanism of bacteria is that it restricts the access of the antibiotic. So in the first case, there is a bacteria. Okay, I'll remove this thing. It's disturbing. Okay, so in the first case, there's a bacteria, and you're trying to send a drug inside. But bacteria have evolved and have understood that if I make some changes in my cell wall and not allow this particle to enter only, if I can do this, I can develop resistance, right? So अभी हम bacteria के perspective से सोच रहे हैं what bacteria are doing in their biology. So we want to put something inside which was earlier going inside easily. But in case of gram negative, there are many gram negative bacteria, because you remember gram negative has an outer layer also. So anything that has to cross and go inside the cytoplasm of a gram negative bacteria has to cross two membranes. Outer, then going through the peptidoglycan, and then the inner, right? So if these bacteria can make modification in the outer membrane itself and not allow anything to enter, then they can selectively keep the antibiotics away or from the entering. Do you understand? This is the one problem which we are facing right now with all the gram negative infections. So we have made drugs, but हमारे drugs bacteria के अंदर जा ही नहीं रहे हैं because they are far more intelligent in terms of a cell. They have evolved. Second thing, दूसरा क्या कर सकते हैं? अभी अंदर ही नहीं जा रहा है. चलो अंदर चला गया. मान लो ग्राम नेगेटिव नहीं था, ग्राम पॉजिटिव था, उसमें अंदर चला गया. Now what is the problem is, these bacteria have pumps in their cell wall. These pumps, so this is the bacterial wall, and there are these pumps, channels basically. These channels were used to get things in and out. You remember the porine proteins जो मैंने दिखाया आपको?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Using that porine proteins and other channels, things used to come in and go out, which are called sodium potassium pump, and all different kind of pumps are there in the cell wall. ये हमारे body के भी cell wall में होते हैं. Now these bacteria like Pseudomonas, the example is Pseudomonas, it can produce a pump to get rid of several different kinds of antibiotic drugs. Now drugs enter inside the body और हमें लगता है कि चलो काम हो गया अब तो, बट बैक्टीरिया उसको वापस पकड़ता है और पंप आउट करके फेंक देता है. इट्स लाइक कि जब घर में कहीं किसी जगह पे पानी इकट्ठा हो जाता है, then we just put in a motor and just pump all the water out. It's just the same concept. So all these antibiotics, fluoroquinols, beta-lactams, penicillin is one of the beta-lactams class. So this is a class of antibiotic. Penicillin comes in this class. Chloramphenicol and इन सब एंटीबायोटिक्स के अगेंस्ट कुछ बैक्टीरियाज ने पंप्स डेवलप कर लिए. ठीक है, तो कुछ तो बोलते हैं कि हम अंदर ही नहीं आने देंगे. Most of them are gram negative. Gram positive cannot do this kind of mechanism, so they tend to do this kind of mechanism. Okay. Others, what they have done is they have changed or destroyed the antibiotic. Now, this is bacteria. They know that certain type of antibiotics, जिसका shape ये है मान लो, ठीक है? It comes in their cell and goes and binds to some protein and destroys it. ठीक है, जिसकी वजह से ये बैक्टीरिया मर जाता है. Now this bacteria has started producing certain molecules and releasing it out, which goes and bind to this thing and destroys this only. तो हमारे एंटीबायोटिक्स को चेंज या डिस्ट्रॉय कर देते हैं, ठीक है, with the enzymes. And the bacteria which causes pneumonia is one such example, where they are breaking down this part of the drug, this chemical, okay, and also this chemical. And beta lactams, you remember what are these? Penicillin. So penicillin was once a miracle, but in today's time penicillin is not functioning properly and we are on the verge of having a failed penicillin. थोड़े टाइम के बाद 10 साल बाद इसी तरह से मिसयूज करते रहेंगे और रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ता रहेगा, तो penicillin will not be able to kill any single bacteria on the earth. Okay, so either bacteria don't allow them to enter, or if they enter they pump it out, or if upon entry or before entry they change or destroy the antibiotic. Now the fourth thing is they bypass the effect of antibiotics. Now how do these antibiotics work? अभी आप लोगों ने मुझे बताया कि किसी ना किसी पार्ट को अटैक करो, राइट? सेल वॉल को अटैक करो. अब सेल वॉल को अटैक करने के लिए द एंटीबायोटिक मॉलिक्यूल शुड रिकॉग्नाइज द सेल वॉल, राइट? है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
और रिकॉग्निशन हमेशा कैसे होता है? रिकॉग्निशन होता है विद हेल्प ऑफ सम रिसेप्टर्स. ठीक है, तो सेल वॉल में कोई मॉलिक्यूल
Yes,
होगा
sir.
जिसको एंटीबायोटिक रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहा है और वहां बाइंड कर रहा है, और बाइंड करने के बाद कुछ ब्रेक कर रहा है. इसी तरह से वो अंदर जाएगा तो अंदर भी कोई मॉलिक्यूल होगा जिसको वो रिकॉग्नाइज करेगा, उसके साथ बाइंड करेगा और उसको ब्रेक करेगा, राइट? नाउ बैक्टीरियाज आर वेरी स्मार्ट. दे आर अ सिंगल सेल, दे डोंट केयर, यू नो, सो दे डेवलप न्यू प्रोसेसेस. सपोज अ बैक्टीरिया ऑन इट्स सेल मेम्ब्रेन हैड अ रिसेप्टर जो किसी बहुत जरूरी काम के लिए था. लेट्स से टू सेंस न्यूट्रिशन, टू सेंस वेदर ग्लूकोज इज प्रेजेंट और नॉट, कि ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल आके बाइंड करेगा तो मैं उसको सेंस कर लूंगा. इसी रिसेप्टर को हमारा एंटीबायोटिक आके बाइंड करने लगा. ठीक है, नाउ विद इन अ वेरी शॉर्ट अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, बिकॉज दे आर अ सिंगल सेल, they changed the receptor only. They made a different receptor for detecting glucose by some other pathway. Now our antibiotics are not getting the receptor at all, so they avoid using the antibiotics target. उस receptor को ही use करना avoid कर दिया उन्होंने, जो हम नहीं कर सकते being humans, but they can do. So Staphylococcus, this is one of the most common infection that happens in hospitals. You know, इसलिए बोलते हैं कि कभी भी हॉस्पिटल में जो बहुत इन्फेक्शियस वार्ड्स होते हैं, if someone is admitted there, you should not visit them frequently. So in our country, visiting the patient is a sign of love, affection and gratitude, right? मैं अपने patient को रोज देखने जा रहा हूँ, which means I care for the patient. But bacteria cares for no one. If you're going to a hospital routinely, you being like well, you are not sick, but to just see the sick person for boosting the morale, you may come back with a staphylococcus infection, because these bacteria are they are now multi drug resistant, MDR, and they are in hospitals in a large quantity. Okay, they can bypass the drug effects of this. So trimethoprim is a drug which is used against them, and they have bypassed it. They have changed their receptors. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So how do you
Yes, sir.
feel about bacteria now? Are bacteria still prokaryotic, mindless single cells who do nothing, who just survive? No, bacteria
No,
are
sir.
miraculous machines basically. Last thing is very interesting, you know. So यहाँ पे they bypass the effect. Sometimes they even change the targets. Like you choose one target, they will give you. So they will keep that target there, but that target will not do anything. It will just bind your antibiotic and stay there. It is just to fool you. So many antibiotic drugs are designed to single out and destroy specific parts, like I discussed here. कोई ना कोई part destroy करना है हमें, but they can change the target that no longer fit and do its job. E. coli, बहुत सारे लोगों को आजकल, like you must have heard, like in our parents' time, they used to say that we used to drink water from well, lakes, and everywhere, and we used to be fit and fine. तो आजकल के बच्चे हैं वो उनका ही इम्यून सिस्टम कमजोर है और ये कहीं का भी थोड़ा सा पानी पी लेता है तो तबीयत खराब हो जाती है. ये बातें बहुत सुनी होंगी आप लोगों ने,
Yes, sir.
है ना? यस.
Yes, sir.
हर्षित ने सुनी, हमने भी सुनी. हाँ, ये जो दर्द निकल के आ रहा है, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट. But the scientific reason for this thing is that it's not your fault. The problem is E. coli bacteria is a very common bacteria in our surroundings, and it's present almost in every natural water body. It's present, even in your tap water sometimes if it's coming, if there is a leakage or something. And this bacteria has this one added gene, MCR1 gene, okay, which makes a protein that goes and stays on the outside of the cell wall. And the drug which we use to kill E. coli is called colistin, to kill coli. तो नाम भी वही है, colistin ड्रग है. अब ये colistin ड्रग क्या करता था, जाके उसके सेल वॉल पे बाइंड करता था. अब इसने एक MCR1 जीन की वजह से एक नया प्रोटीन बनाया, उसको सेल वॉल पे भेजा और वहां पे बैठा दिया जहां बाइंड करता था. अब जब कोलिस्टिन आता है बाइंड करने, तो इट डज नॉट अलाउ कोलिस्टिन टू बाइंड एट ऑल, तो हम इसको मार ही नहीं पाते. और इजीली किसी को भी बहुत जल्दी लूज मोशंस और पानी पीने से तबीयत खराब, ये सब चीजें हो जाती हैं. Is it clear? So after studying and discussing all of this, the recent trend is that we actually have a very urgent need to develop new antibiotics or new mechanisms to kill these bacteria. Otherwise, in the coming time, viruses are not going to be the only problem. Bacteria, which we thought that we have won over them, 1928 में अलेक्जेंडर फ्लेमिंग साहब आए और उन्होंने हमें राह दिखाई और हमने बैक्टीरिया को हरा दिया. They are again emerging as big villains now, and in the industry they are in science they are called as super bugs now, because everything we have against them is failing. So what do you think now? I'm asking all of you, इतना कुछ समझने के बाद in recent trends, what do you think can help us? क्या कर सकते हैं अभी हम? ये सब कुछ तो बैक्टीरिया ने कर दिया हमारे अगेंस्ट, हमने बहुत चीजें बनाई, सब वेस्ट हो रहा है. ऐसे ही हम और नई चीजें बना सकते हैं जिसके खिलाफ धीरे धीरे एंटीबायोटिक आ जाए, रेजिस्टेंस आ जाएगी. सो व्हाट इज अ बेटर वे? एनीवन, एनी सजेशंस? व्हाट इज अ बेटर वे टू गो?
One thing that can be practiced is that just like you refer to the parents as such कि कुएं का पानी पीने से immune हल्का हो जाता है. So a long term strategy could be to first of all improve your immune by means being in the surroundings, being in the mud itself.
So basically you want to say that be exposed and let your immune system do the work. But Harshit,
Yeah.
we also don't have to forget that we are also living in a more polluted environment than our parents and grandparents lived. So we have a compromised immunity to begin with. They are not completely wrong when they say this. So your immune system may be in some senses actually weakened than your parents or grandparents who lived their whole life with nature and in less pollution. So we are actually compromised. So by your method, if we go, तो जो लोग immune system जिनका
सर नहीं डायरेक्ट एक्सपोजर में तो डेफिनेटली डिसएडवांटेज झेलने पड़ेंगे. व्हाट आई मीन इज कि अगर हम लोग एक ग्रेजुअल सेटअप, मतलब ग्रेजुअली एक ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट सेटअप करें, सच एज लाइक बिल्डिंग स्टेप्स. सपोज पहले मतलब जैसे अभी पहले नॉर्मल कंडीशंस, फिर देन more exposure, फिर more exposure, और इसमें time लगेगा definitely. It will take
Basically,
generation.
you want to say that convert yourself into an experiment. Like हम भी एक experimental setup हैं और बस be close to nature and slowly, you know.
Yeah, kind of.
But again, that is going to be a very long-term thing, and for that, everyone has to change their lifestyle, which is not possible for you if you're going school every day. Suppose the lockdown lifts up and your life is again hectic and busy. You have to wake up 6 in the morning, go to school, come from that, take some additional classes somewhere. You're also learning guitar and things. अभी तुम्हें रात को 9 बजे याद आ रहा है, oh shit, आज का तो मैंने immune therapy किया ही नहीं, मैं गया ही नहीं बाहर. So a better way, like in terms of science, what we can do, because that is all behavioral things. Like Amna also said that stop misusing drugs, these antibiotic drugs. But again, maybe from this class onwards, you can do that, all of you, because you understood this. You can also advise your parents and relatives to not misuse unnecessarily the antibiotics, because you know the science behind it now. But everyone will not do it, right? It will take time to make change on a global platform. For on the basis on scientific level, in the recent trends or in biosciences, what can be done? A more scientific answer.
So,
Yes.
So actually मेरा question थोड़ा different है, मतलब मैं आपका आंसर नहीं दे रही, कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना चाह रही थी.
Okay.
So जैसा कि मतलब पिछली क्लास में भी मेरी बात हुई थी, यहाँ पर जैसे ये बाईपास इफेक्ट वाली बात थी, तो आपने कह दिया था कि those receptors are doing some crucial work in our body and उनको एकदम से चेंज नहीं किया जा सकता. बट जो पहले 3 तरीके बैक्टीरियाज यूज कर रहा है एंटीबायोटिक से बचने के लिए, सर तो हम लोग तो उनसे कई ज्यादा इवॉल्व स्पीशीज हैं सर, हमारे सेल्स के अंदर ऐसी चीजें क्यों नहीं होती?
Because यही तो प्रॉब्लम है कि हम इवॉल्व स्पीशीज हैं. What do you think? If we are evolved, everything is in our benefit. We are evolved, that's why we have a brain. इसीलिए we form governments, we form countries, we form borders, we have cars. Bacteria have none of it. A bacteria from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, America, all are one bacteria. We humans are so evolved that we have so much of complexity also. Now the problem with our evolved abilities, we have trillions of cells in our body, right? How many cells does bacteria have? One. तो हमें अगर कोई भी चेंज करना है अपनी बॉडी में, जेनेटिक लेवल पे चेंज करना पड़ेगा इन द जाइगोट. That will only show up in the next generation. So if something attacks my body cannot suddenly change all the 3 trillion cells के अंदर जाके that receptor. And also all the 3 trillion cells are not alike. There are bone cells, there are fat cells, there are liver cells, there are brain cells called neurons, there are muscle cells, and every cells have different receptors. तो अभी किस सेल के किस रिसेप्टर को चेंज करना है, ये डिसीजन कौन लेगा बॉडी में? नहीं ले सकते, राइट? So it's not possible on a evolved species, for an evolved species like us with trillions of cells, to make these changes as overnight or within a week or even within a year. It can only be made in the next generation by editing the gene, which is illegal for humans. Because if you make editing of the genome legal, then people will go fanatic. They will do all sort of things with humans. Humans will be experimental then. But for a bacteria, it's very easy because it can just change itself over a course of few months or few years, or even in the same generation within hours. So I told you about horizontal gene transfer. It can just give one ability from itself to the neighboring bacteria, अपने cousin को. And 2 घंटे के अंदर जो बैक्टीरिया अभी रेजिस्टेंट नहीं था, उसके पास प्लाज्मिड आ गया, अब वो रेजिस्टेंट है. But humans cannot do that. This is the beauty of biology. No? We say that we are the most evolved species, but see whom we are fighting. तुम कभी ऐसा सुना है कि humans are fighting with chimpanzees because दोनों के बीच कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है biological?
No, sir.
No. Humans are not even fighting with the elephants and tigers. Yes, we are taking their jungles and making our homes. That's a different thing. It's called colonization. But we do not fight. Whom we are fighting biologically? Most evolved species is fighting the prokaryotes or the viruses to survive. हमें खत्म करने के लिए viruses और bacteria सबसे पहले लगे हुए हैं, and then fungus. So we have to fight them, being the most evolved. So does it answer your question,
Yes, sir.
Amna? Yes. So my question now, someone please
Yes,
answer my
sir.
question. What we can do basically? It's true we can make all other different kind of drugs. अभी हमने 10 बनाए हैं, 20 और बनाएंगे. But again, I told you that those who are making it are not getting profit out of it because they make one, bacteria gets resistant. So that is not in use. Then again, they have to invest millions and make something. Then again, bacteria will discard it by becoming resistant. So again, this way we will just keep on, putting in money and companies will get bankrupt. And it has happened. There's a company in US which started making an antibiotic, which started working as well. But then it was so specific to certain bacteria and certain infections that the company could not survive. It got bankrupt. So what is a better way scientifically? You all are studying science now. Tell me. Please.
Sir, I have a solution. I don't know if it is real or hypothetical.
Yes.
Just
Give your
like we
solution.
talk, just like we talk about poisons, we have antidotes. So if for a bacteria, we can something like antibacteria or something. Just about the
This is
RNA.
This is antibacteria only. These are antibiotics. They are killing bacteria.
No. Sir, what I actually mean is organism kind of thing, which just like we do this tissue culture thing.
Oh,
And
nice.
by that, if we get some an RNA, मतलब उसमें RNA भी होना चाहिए, and just like जो bacteria.
Nice. So Harshit is actually moving towards the real science, which is the last part of my discussion, which is going to take another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll end the class. So very well directed, Harshit. So Harshit is saying कि देखो भाई बैक्टीरिया को मारना है तो कोई और ऑर्गेनिज्म भेज दो, राइट हर्षित?
Yes, sir.
तो अगर तुम्हें बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन हो जाए और मैं बोलूं कि मैं तुम्हारी बॉडी के अंदर और ऑर्गेनिज्म भेज रहा हूँ जो उस बैक्टीरिया को मारेंगे, विल यू बी ओके विद इट? विल यू से कि ओके?
Unless it
सर वो हमें भी तो कुछ कर सकते हैं.
unless it harms.
यस, आमना's पॉइंट इज वैलिड. वो हमें भी कुछ कर सकते हैं. अगर वो बैक्टीरिया को मार सकते हैं तो हमारे सेल को क्यों नहीं मार सकते?
कुछ दिनों में वो सोचेंगे हम इनको भी ओवरटेक कर लें.
So Harshit,
So that is why I said that it has to be designed by humans, taking in consideration कि वो खुद को भी harm ना करे, because anything which is evolved or generated from the environment itself can do anything.
So let me give you a hint, Harshit. Very good point raised and very good rebuttal done by Amna. And this is the essence of doing such classes, which are like not covering your syllabus, or don't have to learn things. We have to understand. So Harshit ने बहुत अच्छा point दिया, Amna ने बहुत अच्छा rebuttal दिया. Now let me give a hint, which I think Amna and Harshit both will pick. Let's see who picks first. We don't have to create such things. We already have in nature some things that can just specifically go and kill bacteria and not us.
Why?
Sir, bacteriophages.
Exactly. Who was the first?
The fungus.
No, Amna.
RN.
Come on, Amna. Viruses are very specific to every species of living system. Right? Did you forget that?
Yes, sir.
So very good. It has to be viruses. And this is the thing where recent trends in biology is going towards. And this is my last slide, which I'll be sharing. So is it visible to you? Is the slide visible?
Yes, sir, it was visible.
Yes, the slide is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this thing here is a bacteriophage. It's a virus that can specifically kill bacteria and cannot recognize a human cell. Do you remember anything, Amna, from the last class?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in modern biology, what people are trying to do, what scientists are trying to do, and I have been very fortunate to work with one of such scientists in India. Her name is Dr. Urmi Vajpayee. She is in Delhi University, and during my bachelor's, I worked with her. She is a bacteriophage scientist, and she is trying to develop this therapy called phage therapy, where she, among with other global leaders in this therapy, believe that all these antibiotics are going to fail, and keep making certain antibiotics by putting millions of dollars in this industry is just waste after some time. So why not use whatever nature is already giving us? Use a virus that only kills a bacteria. Now, what is the advantage of using such virus as a phage therapy? So what basically we'll do is, जहां भी body में infection होगा, we will just recognize कि वो किस bacteria का infection है, and we also have to recognize that which type of bacteriophage kills that bacteria. And we know for sure that in nature, for every bacteria that infect us, there has to be a virus that infects the bacteria. As I told in the last class also, हर चीज, हर जिंदा चीज जो अर्थ पे है, उसको इन्फेक्ट करने के लिए एक ना एक वायरस होता है. Now the only limitation of this therapy is we do not know of enough phages. We have not isolated phages. तो हमें पहले तो एक लाइब्रेरी बनानी पड़ेगी of all these bacteriophages, thousands and thousands of them, isolating from different bacteria, different cultures, different samples, and we have to keep a culture of it. And then if we can achieve that, it's easy for us to defeat bacteria using viruses, because they will not recognize us. They are very specific. They will only recognize bacteria, and between us and bacteria there is a huge gap. अब ऐसा होता है कि जैसे मैं कोई चिंपैंजी का वायरस ले रहा हूँ. Now chimpanzee and humans are very close in evolution, right? So Amna's fear could have held ground here कि अरे चिंपैंजी का वायरस है, चिंपैंजी में अटैक कर रहा है, हो सकता है अचानक से होस्ट चेंज करके ह्यूमंस में अटैक करने लगे, राइट? बिकॉज वी आर क्लोजली रिलेटेड. इवन बैट
Yes,
इज अ
sir.
मैमल, we are closely related with bat. But bacteria and human are on the two opposites. This is bacteria in evolution, this is human. A virus cannot make a sudden jump from bacteria and go all the way to start recognizing the cell of the most evolved species, right, Amna? So this is our safeguard
Yes,
here.
sir.
So we take certain bacteriophages, we put them in the body, and we let these viruses, our mercenaries, unpaid mercenaries, do the job. तो हमने अपने ही बॉडी के अंदर मर्सनरीज भेजे वायरस को मारने के लिए. नाउ व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस थेरेपी? एनीवन विल टेल मी क्विकली? जस्ट द लास्ट बिट फॉर टुडे. व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज एंड डिसएडवांटेज? दोनों बात कर लेते हैं. यूजिंग फेजेस टू किल
Bacteria
बैक्टीरियल
मर जाएंगे.
ये एडवांटेज है डिसएडवांटेज?
ये तो एडवांटेज है.
ऑफ कोर्स. सो
डिसएडवांटेज ये हो सकता है कि दे स्टिक टू अ पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज. सो मतलब अगर इफ यू टॉक अबाउट ई कोलाई तो ई कोलाई को खत्म करेंगे एंड बाकी सब रह जाएंगे.
तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? कॉकटेल बना के भेज दो. अगर किसी की बॉडी में 5 बैक्टीरिया का इन्फेक्शन है, तो 5 अलग अलग बैक्टीरियोफेजेस का कॉकटेल बनाओ, बॉडी में भेज दो.
सर बनाना भी चाहिए किसी में.
अरे बनाना क्या है? कभी मतलब पेप्सी में कुछ मिलाया नहीं है क्या? You have to take bacteriophages and you have to mix them together and send it inside. So that is not the problem. Isolation is yes a problem, but not that big a problem than making an antibiotic. So what can be other disadvantage? And this is, I think, a good thing. It is advantage, not disadvantage, that you have specific phages for specific bacteria. So advantage is it will kill the bacteria. What is the disadvantage?
सर ट्रांसडक्शन, जो जीन्स जो मतलब किसी एक को मार दिया तो फिर दूसरे में चले गया, तो फिर उसमें उसके मतलब अगेंस्ट में एंटीबॉडीज टाइप में आ जाते हैं.
Yes. So one disadvantage is both are biological components, biologically living, because inside the cell virus is also living, right?
Yes,
तो
sir.
हम बेसिकली क्या कर रहे हैं? हम अपनी बॉडी को एक बैटल ग्राउंड बना के इन दो स्पीशीज की लड़ाई करवा रहे हैं वहाँ पे, एंड वी आर अलाउइंग एवरी स्पीशीज टू जस्ट टसल. तो ऐसा भी होगा कि जैसा कि वायरस के थ्रू कोई जीन बैक्टीरिया पे पहुंचे और वो रेजिस्टेंट हो जाए, हो सकता है.
यस सर.
बट वायरस भी उसके खिलाफ कुछ काउंटर मेजर्स करेगा, क्योंकि बिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स से ये दोनों यही करते आ रहे हैं. दे आर लाइक टॉम एंड जेरी, where let's say your bacteria is bigger, so it's Tom, and your viruses are Jerry. So Tom devises some defense, Jerry finds a loophole. Tom devises another defense, Jerry finds another loophole. Tom devises another defense, Jerry finds another loophole. So they are biologically at war from millions and billions of years, and if it is working for them till now, आज भी अगर इतने मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स के बाद आज भी अगर फेजेस बैक्टीरिया को मार रहे हैं, व्हिच मींस दे आर आल्सो इंटेलिजेंट एज दे आर. बट डिसएडवांटेज इज दैट वी आर एक्सपोजिंग आवर बॉडी टू अ अननोन टेरिटरी. where we are sure that it will help us. Second disadvantage is social acceptance, जो किसी ने raise नहीं किया but मैंने पूछा था शुरू में. People will not accept mostly those who are not from biological background and those who do not understand. हमारे देश में लोग वैक्सीन को नहीं समझते, देश में छोड़ो दुनिया में. There are people who are against vaccines, who think that if you take vaccines you will die earlier than corona, where vaccine is much safer
Yes,
than
sir.
getting a live virus. So social acceptance is a very big issue, which when I was on this project, I also realized that it's going to happen in countries like, not country specific, it's in the world. People are always very hesitant towards sending live viruses in their body to kill live bacteria. But advantage is that both co-evolve. तो कभी भी हमारा पैसा हम बैक्टीरिया पे खाली बैक्टीरियोफेजेस पे पैसा लगा के भरोसा कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज अगर बैक्टीरिया इवॉल्व होगा और रेजिस्टेंस डेवलप करेगा तो उसके साथ साथ बैक्टीरियोफेज भी
वायरस
इवॉल्व
करेगा
और वो भी कोई ना कोई लूपहोल निकालेगा. And this they have been doing for millions of years, so they will continue to do that. But this therapy is still in very premature phase, and this is a very big industry where the research is heading nowadays. So any one of you who wish to be a researcher, a biological researcher in life, can go to this microbiology field and go to this phage therapy development. Lot of laboratories and lot of companies around the globe are working on this therapy now. And it's a very big recent trend in medicine. So I hope this class was both like you enjoyed and you learned. And if you have any questions, I will take questions in the end. Anyone has any question?
Sir,
Yes. Yes, Amna.
so wait a second.
It's fine. It's fine. Let your sister call you. It's fine.
सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि बैक्टीरिया हमारी बॉडी में रेप्लिकेट भी करेंगे, ग्रो भी करेंगे, तो अगर हमने उनको डाला है तो जाहिर सी बात है फिर वो हमारी बॉडी के अंदर ही रहेंगे, तो कहीं वो हमें कुछ मतलब हार्म तो नहीं करेंगे.
हाँ, यही डर, यही सोशल एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं है दुनिया में. दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट थिंग आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हेन आई एम टेलिंग यू कि वो बैक्टीरिया को पहचान सकते हैं, ह्यूमंस को नहीं. तो क्या होगा कि जब ये सारे बैक्टीरिया को मार देंगे, उसके बाद ये पार्टिकल्स हमारी बॉडी में हमेशा रहेंगे, बिकॉज व्हेन दे आर नॉट इनसाइड द होस्ट. फॉर बैक्टीरियोफेजेस व्हाट इज द होस्ट? इज इट ह्यूमन सेल और इज इट बैक्टीरिया सेल?
बैक्टीरिया. Bacteria.
Only a person who has studied science can understand that these viruses are like particles in our body, because our cell is not a host for them. Only when they are inside a bacterial cell, they will start acting like living. जब ये सारे बैक्टीरिया को मार के इन्फेक्शन खत्म कर देंगे, फिर से पार्टिकल की फॉर्म में हमारे ब्लड में घूमते रहेंगे. जैसे ही अगली बार फिर से बैक्टीरिया आएगा, फिर से पकड़ के वही कहानी शुरू. So they are safe. But
yes,
you can understand it by saying हाँ, because you understand virology, you understand bacteriology. Last 3 classes में हमने ये सब discuss किया. But normal people will not accept it, and you cannot give anyone any therapy without their acceptance, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other question you have? Anyone? Any other questions? Okay, so if no one has any question now, I'll just call up the class. This was it from today's class. I hope you all liked it, and you can just in the end say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, can I ask something?
Yes.
So आप अगली क्लास में क्या टॉपिक लेने वाले हैं?
So basically, I have not decided the topic yet. It depends on how much all of you understood and grasped this topic. So I basically decide 3-4 days before, like a couple of days before, not much earlier. But is there any specific thing you want to? You can give me suggestions. I'm open to suggestions.
So yes, sir.
Yes.
So अगर आप हमें black fungus and white fungus इसके बारे में कुछ information depth में दे सकते तो.
Makes sense. So if everyone is okay with it, because we started with viruses, we went to bacteria, and we are talking about medicines in each field. Now we go to fungus. Is it everyone is fine with it? Should we discuss?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Fungus, black, orange, white, green, red, all Vibgyors.
Yeah, so one
Yes.
thing I also had to ask when you opened up this your slide thing, sir, I saw that a human evolution thing was there. So is that already discussed?
Yes, we have discussed human evolution in the first class, and I think these classes are being recorded. So you can ask for the recorded section for the first class, and you can go through it.
Sir, I wanted to ask if if something related to it will be discussed in the future or not.
Human evolution. So
Yes.
so I have decided to keep human evolution a separate segment after we go on from these futuristic medicines and therapies, because these are the recent trends we are continuing. So let me, in the next class, let me take on fungus and other protozoa, and let's this series end, and then we will go with again biological trends starting from human evolution. How about it?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone, any other suggestions? जो आपकी फरमाइश है, because see, we do not have any syllabus here, so that's the best thing, we can learn a lot of things. Okay, so I'll call off the class. Thank you everyone, thank you for joining, and
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you,
yes,
sir.
stay safe, and see you on next Wednesday. Okay, adios, bye bye.